fight?
Armed with a free-to-play framework, garish visuals, and a hefty helping of MMO trappings, Age of Empires Online is clearly designed for conquering a much wider player base than did its predecessors. It's possible to find the gameplay that made Age of Empires 2 so popular among the pastels, but does its bubbly coding herald a golden age for the franchise, or does it mark the end of an era?
These are troublesome times.
The story-based campaigns that define the franchise's earlier incarnations are history. Instead, Age of Empires Online doles out standalone missions from your customizable Greek or Egyptian home city, much like a conventional MMO. You'll pick up quests by chasing down familiar yellow exclamation points, and you'll turn them in for the chance of receiving epic purple rewards. The quests themselves yield many hours worth of real-time strategy battles in the world beyond, but you shouldn't expect much variation between the Greek and Egyptian missions, apart from cosmetic niceties such as what kind of mount your scout is riding.
Good luck!
You'll get the most out of these missions if you play them cooperatively, although invited players rarely seem as integrated into the mission as the host. This awkward imbalance also carries over to the otherwise enjoyable player versus player battles, where a godly ability from the technological tree or a crafted piece of equipment can turn an otherwise promising match into a steamroll. Free players need not worry about getting matched against premium accounts, but you should prepare yourself for overwhelming odds whenever you head to war. Once you've finished a quest, you'll receive new units, crafting materials, or even a rare piece of equipment upon your triumphal return to your home city, provided, that is, that you've forked out the $20 for either a premium Greek or Egyptian civilization. These same roadblocks hamper your progress down your home city's expansive technology tree, which bestows upgrades for your civilization's economy, military strength, or utilities. In both cases, only premium players get the bulk of the spoils. Free players only get the chaff. The microtransactions feel oppressive as a result. If you want to get the most out of the current content with one package, including a Swarm-style add-on called the Defensive Crete you can also buy separately, you'll need to cough up $100 for a season pass. It's possible to forge through all 40 levels without paying a single Microsoft point, but Gas-Powered Games does its best to make you feel guilty about it, keeping key elements such as advisors, PvP rankings, full tech tree and crafting access, many buildings, and the best equipment all stashed behind an iron paywall curtain.
Speak with me.
While your home city might bear the heavy stamp of World of Warcraft, the addicting strategic gameplay itself feels very much like classic Age of Empires. Yet this also means the missions all share the series' characteristic downtimes. Almost every quest begins by sending your villagers out to gather resources such as wood and food, and using those resources to amass a balanced attack force. That on its own isn't much cause for concern, but the lightweight tactics that characterize the endless tutorial campaigns might be. Once you've built a sufficient army, you can usually select them all and set them on a murderous rampage until you complete your objectives. As a result, many of the early quests, which range from harrowing hostage rescues to cheeky camel races, lose their novelty despite excellent first impressions. On the battlefield, pathing is often a problem. In missions that call for rescuing hostages from behind enemy lines, for instance, you'll need to keep an eye out for the one or two that get stuck on a tree while their companions avoid it. And while your soldiers continue attacking other units once their initial targets are down, they clearly need some tweaks to their priorities. Time and time again, you'll find your best soldiers chopping up the nearest crop while enemy spearmen backstab them with impunity. With discipline like this, it's no wonder that the empires of both Egypt and Greece succumb to history. Age of Empires Online's most glaring defect is that it takes its online appellation far too seriously. If you're on a spotty connection, for instance, the required Games for Windows Live client will drop you at the first sign of sputtering without allowing any kind of grace period to reconnect. Once you log back in, you'll find your session gone the way of ancient Rome. Age of Empires Online's syrupy art style has more in common with Toy Story than the series' traditional dour visuals, which may come as no surprise since its free-to-play model resembles that of several social strategy games for Facebook. But for the most part, it works. Even weaker computers can shoulder the welterweight graphics, although purists might find themselves wondering if the cheery ambiance is at odds with the orgistic scenes of slaughter. Whatever the shortcomings of Age of Empires Online, it's hard not to walk away with the impression that you're getting a lot for your time even if you don't pay for premium content. Even so, it feels like a game that's still in search of where it's going. The majority of the missions won't satisfy veterans of either Age of Empires or other real-time strategy games for long, and the MMO-styled fluff in your city never feels as satisfying as the core combat. In the end, Age of Empires Online's jaunt across the ancient world serves as a robust and enjoyable free introduction to the real-time strategy genre. But if you're willing to plunk out $20 to $100 for a complete strategy experience, you'll find much better options elsewhere.